I honestly cannot believe that we are at 700 subs. If if I knew then what I know now was a person, that will absolutely be me. When I think about all of the time that I wasted, all of the imposter syndrome, all of the ways that I sabotaged myself from not being confident enough to get on camera and talk across the camera, and not wanting to share my information, or not feeling like I could actually be myself, or not feeling comfortable with the idea of people watching me on camera. Like, if I knew then what I know now, things would be so much different. So if you have been thinking about getting into digital products, getting into content creation, getting into making money online, then I want you to stick around, because I'm going to tell you all of the things that I would have done different, or that if I was starting from scratch, that I would do different now that I have actually achieved making money online on a consistent basis. Like, there was a time when I was not making any money online, and there was a time when I had a digital product and I didn't know how to sell it, or I was afraid of coming on camera. All of the feelings that you have, trust me, I understand, because I've been there. It's the reason why I am so passionate about coming on and talking to you, because I know how you feel. And there was a point in my life, the closer I got to 40, I was just like, I'm tired of code switching. I need to get out of whatever funk it is that I'm in. Like, I am going to get to know who I am, become more aware of myself, and present myself to the world. And I'm going to take up space, right? And there's ways and things that you can do to be able to get to a point where you feel like, okay, I can do this. Like, this is something that I could do. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video, because I know how scary it can be, especially when there's so many components that you're not used to navigating. So I'm going to break it down and make it more simpler for you in this one video. So if you've been thinking about starting in digital products, content creation, and making money online, then let's get right into it. So one of the things that I love the most about making money on YouTube and online is that I get to be my complete self, right? I say this all the time. The closer I got to 40, the more I just did not care about what anybody else thought about me, and was more concerned about how I was showing up and how I felt about me. And so I love that I am in an arena and making money just by being myself. I didn't know that back then, right? Because I was so used to code switching, going into my 9 to 5 job. If you have ever been in corporate healthcare or in corporate America at all, you know that, especially for African American people, there's a certain persona that people feel like you have to present when you are in those environments. And yeah, that ended for me really quickly the closer I got to 40, because it was just like, I don't have to be anything other than who I am. Yes, I have to be professional, but I can be professional and still be myself. I don't have to be anybody or anything else. So, one of the things that I would do different if I was starting over was focus on being more confident and comfortable within my own skin. Now, if you haven't always been confident, then those things may not come natural to you. Like, just showing up as who you are may not come natural to you. You have to get real with yourself and start to work on your self-esteem, your confidence. You have to know that you are worthy, right? And just being who you are is enough. And that alone will make you money online. And most people don't talk about how important it is to be yourself, because people want to connect with you, right? And if you're being somebody else, you're attracting the wrong person to you. I love that the people that I've connected with, they connect with me because I'm able to be my natural self. So one of the things that I would recommend that I would do differently if I was starting over was to work on my self-confidence. And here are some ways that you can do that. The first thing that I would recommend is to be mindful of the way that you talk to yourself. A lot of the times we can be some of the nicest people, the most kindest people to others, but we are not as kind to ourselves. we may make a mistake and we may call ourselves stupid or whatever, but we don't speak to ourselves in a way that feels like you're talking to somebody that you love. And so when I started working on my relationship with myself and being more mindful about how I talk to myself, how I treat myself, how I show up for myself, whether I keep promises to myself or not, then that's when I started to really start trusting myself and I started to gain confidence within myself. Right. Sometimes we are so loyal to other people and we don't turn that same level of loyalty to ourselves. We'll promise somebody something and we will make sure that whatever we promise them, it gets done. But we'll promise ourselves something and then 2 days later just fall off. So working out, I promise I'm gonna get my body right and I'm gonna start back in the gym and all of these things. And I break that promise to myself, right? But if you made that promise to somebody else and somebody else was counting on you to show up, you will more than likely show up for that person, right? So why aren't we showing up for ourselves in the exact same way? And when we start showing up for ourselves as people that we love, then things start to shift for us, right? So start treating yourself like you're somebody that you love. Start paying attention to just how you are with yourself, right? What's going on in your mind? What's the dialogue in your mind? Think about how, if you have children, if they make a mistake, how do you console them? Or your friends, when they make a mistake, how do you console them? Do you console yourself in the same way when you make a mistake? One way that has really helped me to nurture the relationship with myself was to write myself letters, right? I would write the youngest version of myself a letter. I would write my any age that I could think of that I needed to talk to her, to that version of me. I would write myself a letter. I still write myself letters to this day, right? Because it keeps me connected to me. So work on your relationship with yourself, and the more you start to transform your dialogue and how you feel about yourself within, that's going to translate outward. If you have never been in media, or if media is not your natural profession, getting in front of the camera and talking to the camera is not going to come natural to you. Okay. But it is something that we have to do. We have to show up, right? We have to give value. And the only way for us to give value, one of the only ways for us to give value, is by getting in front of this camera, right? And so that's one of the things that held me back too, because I was just so afraid of getting in front of the camera and talking in front of this camera. Let me tell y'all, when I first started, about 4 or 5 months ago, when I started creating YouTube videos, I was doing like these training videos to where I was using this program called Loom. And it was just like a little bubble of me in the corner. And then the screen was whatever it was that I was presenting. And I was okay with that because it was just me in the corner. Just, you couldn't really see me. You were just seeing more so, whatever it was that I was presenting. And that was me hiding from the camera. I used to always say, oh, I don't belong in front of the camera. I'm not an in front of the camera type of person. And I had to switch my dialogue. I had to think about that and ask myself, like, when did I even become the person that doesn't believe that I can sit in front of the camera and have a conversation and talk? Right? Who told me that? Where did I get that programming from? And so I had to switch that, and I had to start getting in front of the camera. Another thing that forced me to get in front of the camera was anytime I would get in front of the camera and talk and have conversations just like this, more people would connect to the video. And it showed me like more people wanted to see or hear what it is that I had to say or see my face on camera. While I'm hiding, people are like, girl, we want to see you, right? But I would not have gotten that information had I not decided that I'm going to do this uncomfortable. Because let me tell you, I was uncomfortable when I first started out. But I had to do it anyway, because the only way that you get comfortable with doing something is by doing it. There's no way around it, right? So get comfortable in front of the camera. And one of the ways that you can do that is by practicing. 2 to 3 times a week, even if it's something that you decide not to post, get in front of the camera so that you can see your body language, you can hear your tone of voice, you can hear the filler words that you're using, you can see what you like or don't like about how you're presenting, and you can work on it before you have to actually start recording to post. So practice. It's not going to come natural for you if you don't practice. Another thing that I would focus on if I was starting over is to trust myself, right? Trust that the information that I have is information that somebody else wants. And how do you validate that? One, if you have solved it for yourself or for somebody else, there is somebody out there that is looking for you to help them get to the place of solution, right? So if you've gotten from point A to point B, there's someone that is still at point A waiting for you to literally hold their hand to point B, right? And so if you already solved it for yourself, then you are able to help somebody else get to wherever it is that you have already gotten to. All right. And so trust that the information that you have is information that other people want. I would have absolutely started setting smaller goals sooner, right? A lot of the times we set these big, huge goals, and then when we don't accomplish them, subconsciously we get down on ourselves and we give up on ourselves. But if you set small goals and you start to accomplish small goals, then that gives you the confidence. You start to feel better about yourself because you're keeping promises to yourself. You are doing what it is that you say that you're going to do, and you're showing up in ways that you want to show up. You are who you say you are, right? And you're proving that to yourself every single day. And subconsciously that is telling your mind, I am this version of me, right? So get with the program kind of thing, right? So keep promises to yourself more often. Set small goals and start accomplishing those small goals, and you'll see how your confidence starts to build. The only reason why I'm able to sit across from this camera and tell you the exact steps that I've took, what I would do different, how I wish I knew then what I know now, and all of these things is because I've actually done it, right? I am actively, consistently making sales online. It's not anything that I have read in a book and now I'm coming in and I'm translating it to you. I'm literally giving you the things that I have done and that I'm doing every single day. And so I don't come across with my shoulders down or not, speaking loudly or confidently. I come with my shoulders back, my head high, because I know, listen, what I'm telling you is things that I've already done and things that I've already proven for myself. So I know that it works. Now, whether you decide to take the information and put it to action, that's on you. And so I need you to have that same level of confidence when you are speaking to your community and when you are helping your community solve their problem, because they're looking at you as the subject matter expert, as the person that has already gone through the steps that they needed to go through to get there. And so the only way that you're able to be confident in that is if you've solved it for yourself or for someone else. So if you're trying to figure out what ebook, what products, whatever to create, before you even start thinking about what to create, start thinking about what problem have I solved for myself or for somebody else that I know like the back of my hand, that I can sit across from somebody and walk them through the steps on how to get there. That is what's going to make you money online. All right, guys. So I had to take a quick pause because I said that when we got to 700 subbies, that I was going to make a huge announcement and I was going to give you guys the updates on all of what's going on with DPS. And y'all, so much has changed within the community. And I am so excited because I just know that this is going to be an even better opportunity for you. Now, whenever you invest in yourself, whether you purchase the 100 Ways to Guarantee Your First Sale ebook, or if you purchase a membership, you are automatically going to get access to the community. Yes, and not just annual, you are now going to get lifetime access to the community, which means lifetime coaching, a lifetime community of people that are in there doing exactly what it is that you want to do. You get lifetime everything when it comes to DPS. You don't have to pay monthly, you don't have to pay annually. Invest in yourself that one time, and that is it. You get access to every single thing that I'm learning within the community. Y'all, okay, listen, I know it's crazy, it's insane. So if you invest in the 100 ways to guarantee your first sale, you get general access. If you invest by becoming a member, you get lifetime VIP access. And if you have general access, you get access to the community. VIPs get access to coaching. So y'all, do with that information what you will. VIPs is at an insanely discounted investment, y'all. So I only have a few slots for the VIPs at the investment that it is now. If you catch it at that investment, I'm happy for you because it's not staying there. Remember, this is lifetime. This is not monthly or annual. So get it while you can. Whenever you're seeing this video, I hope that you're able to get it at the discounted rate. So imposter syndrome is a real thing, okay? Your mind will try to convince you that this is not for you. This is for all of the other people, but this is not for you, right? It'll try to convince you that you don't have what it takes, and it'll try to convince you that you're just not built for it, right? Even if you have the information, even if you have every single thing that you need, which you do already, it is going to try to convince you that you don't. And so one of the ways that I was able to really get confident in myself and really start trusting that I am going to show up and I have valuable information that I'm going to offer someone else that they are going to appreciate me for is by getting in the rooms of people that were doing the exact same thing. Okay. Not enough people talk about how important it is to get in the room and get surrounded by that energy, because what it does is it shows you that there are other people that are on a similar journey as you and that are succeeding, that are actually doing it. And so it makes it even more possible in your mind for you. But when you get inside the rooms, the energy of actually seeing these people putting things to work and getting in front of the cameras and practicing the strategies and doing all the things, that energy is different, right? I had to get in the rooms, right? If your therapist doesn't have a therapist, then that shouldn't be your therapist. I say that all the time. So if your coach does not have a coach, then that shouldn't be your coach. Because how is your coach growing? How are they learning to be able to bring that information to you? And if they're not, if they're just pulling information from wherever, you can't guarantee that that information is qualified, right? So I had to get into the rooms, right? And me getting into the rooms and seeing it happen for people that were in those rooms gave me that juice. It gave me that energy, that boost that I needed to start implementing the things. This can absolutely be a reality for you as well. Don't let your mind trick you out of what you know you are able to accomplish. That is it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you found value in this video. If you did, I would love for you to stay a while. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, and of course, engage with me in the comments on what was your biggest takeaway. And I hope to see you in the room, but if not, I will definitely see you on the next video. Bye, guys.